So this coming Monday night, everyone's going to be speculating as to what's going to be happening as far as what's going to happen with either Batista or Charlotte or whatever the case may be. I know that there was a lot of things that were happening last Monday night, including the fact that Roman Reigns came back, which it was pretty much no speculation. It was a matter of time before Roman Reigns would come back, and now we're the only thing that we're waiting on is to see when Roman Reigns is going to be returning to the ring, which that is probably separate from what I'm about to talk about. So Batista made his first appearance in a long, long time. He shows up over on Monday Night Raw and pretty much did a hit and run attack on Ric Flair on his birthday and was trying to get the attention of Triple H. And of course, we saw Triple H come out. He came right out to come after Ric Flair or go after Batista. Batista was gone, and all that's left was Ric Flair. So now the question is, what is Triple H going to do next? To me, we already saw this coming, and we kind of saw this coming from the moment the SmackDown Live 1000 episode came around. And when that episode came around, pretty much there was already some friction between Batista and Triple H right around that time. And it already spells the fact that you're going to see Batista versus Triple H at WrestleMania. It's already in the air. It's already been, pretty much put out there for everyone to. And this is going to make something tremendous and great, especially when it comes to what these two are going to do. In the past, Triple H and Batista have went up against each other before. Everybody remembers the first time. I think it was the first time was WrestleMania 21, and then Backlash, and then they went up against each other at WWE Vengeance 2005 Hell in a Cell. And I think those were the last three matches that I remember. In each of those matches, Batista has had a victory over Triple H. So now, this year's WrestleMania, it's going to feature Batista versus Triple H. No championship on the line. It's going to be one-on-ones, basically a Legends match between these two. And it's going to be something that I and everyone else is going to be looking forward to. I'd love to see this match take place at WrestleMania. We were all speculating as to who Triple H's next opponent was going to be for this year's WrestleMania, because it always seems like whenever WrestleMania comes along and whenever Triple H is involved, it's got to be involved with some top superstar. Last time it was up against Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey. And then the year before that, it was up against Seth Rollins. And the year before that, it was, I believe it was Roman Reigns. Yeah, Roman Reigns. And then it was Sting and a few other people. And I always feel like every year when Triple H is into the ring, it's going to be up against either a top superstar or someone he has faced before. And this is someone that he has faced before. And I think in many ways, I cannot wait to see how this story is going to go at WrestleMania between Triple H and Batista. No doubt Triple H is going to probably come into the ring and say what he has to say and everything, and say he wants vengeance. And I'm hoping this part will happen. If Triple H wants to make this thing between Batista and himself to happen, then they should be at Fastlane together. Not for a contract signing, but for a face-to-face confrontation. Kind of get the spark going before it actually takes place at WrestleMania. So I think that should happen at Fastlane if that comes into plans. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens this coming Monday night. We're going to see what happens when Triple H, comes in the ring and addresses what happened and everything else like that. So no doubt that's going to take place. Now this whole thing with Charlotte Flair, with Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey, this is getting very, very crazy. and it's starting getting crazy to the point where last Monday night, Ronda Rousey pretty much, I don't think she quit. I think what she did was she laid the championship belt down and basically told Stephanie Vince McMahon has a decision that he has to make. And then there's been this ongoing Twitter war between Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. And it's just so funny that whenever I see, and this is something I just find so funny, I see this war with Becky Lynch and with Charlotte. I'm sorry, Becky Lynch and with Ronda, Ronda and Becky Lynch. But where is Charlotte Flair in all this? I mean, why hasn't Charlotte Flair said anything? Why hasn't all she's focused on most of the time is just to get her hands on the Raw Women's Championship, which in my personal view, I don't think Charlotte doesn't deserve to be the champion because she didn't earn it. She doesn't even deserve to even face Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania because she didn't earn it. And then there was a lot of this stuff about what do I remember correctly? I mean, it was the fact that Ronda Rousey had mentioned a lot of things, and some that were just completely off the chain there, especially when she started mentioning something about the F word, and the F word being not fuck, but the F word being, to the wrestling fans, we know what it is. It's the word fake. And it was so bad that she did that. But at the same time, and this is coming from me, at the same time, this is starting to get real. And that is the beauty of all this. Yes, I mean, yes, Ronda Rousey may have insulted the wrestling fans, and that may be good in a huge way. And to me, if you're going to insult the wrestling fans and make them tell you what she thinks of the industry, well then yeah, you're gonna hate her, and yeah, you're gonna tell her to be quiet, shut the fuck up, don't say anymore. At the same time, Rhonda is probably doing exactly what I and everyone else wants her to do. Become that heel, become that person, and find a way to get Charlotte off. And that's what needs to happen. And yeah, fans can hate Ronda Rousey now for what she's done. But at the same time, if you're hating on Ronda Rousey because of what she did, then that is the right move. Because as far as I'm concerned, like I said before, in some of my previous main event talks, I don't want to see a triple threat match at WrestleMania. Because to me, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Having a triple threat match will diminish the singles match that all of us wants to see between Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey wants that match to happen at WrestleMania because it's the right thing. Becky Lynch wants it to happen, and she don't give a damn as to whether we like it or if Ronda likes it or whatever, as long as she finds a way to go to WrestleMania. And Charlotte just wants to come in and just be given something and handed something that she doesn't deserve. And this is the kind of thing that Becky has been talking about for years. Just like what happened years ago. I think it was at SummerSlam. Because Charlotte was added to a triple threat match that she didn't deserve to be a part of and won that triple threat match and won the SmackDown Women's Championship. And then Becky Lynch, what did she do? She turned on her. She turned on her in a huge way at SummerSlam. Became a huge heel, but she also became loved by the fans. She won the SmackDown Women's Championship by beating Charlotte Flair, fair and square. Even though she was a heel, fans were still cheering her. Becky Lynch and Charlotte had many great matches throughout their career, and Charlotte was always at the worst end of everything. And then, of course, we know about what happened with Becky Lynch and everything else like that. And then who did Becky Lynch select to take on Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series? That would be Charlotte. Charlotte, everyone can say, even though Charlotte Flair beat the hell out of Ronda Rousey, there's one difference. Ronda never lost to Charlotte. It don't matter how many times you beat Ronda Rousey's ass. You may get the crowd to love you. You may get the crowd to cheer for you. But if you didn't beat Ronda Rousey, you haven't accomplished shit. And as far as I'm concerned, and as far as other people are concerned, Ronda Rousey is still undefeated. Ronda Rousey is still better than Charlotte Flair. Ronda Rousey is still better than Becky Lynch. The point of all this is the fact that it don't matter if Charlotte deserves to face Ronda Rousey. Let me correct this. Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch should be the match at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch deserves to face her at WrestleMania one-on-one. That needs to happen at WrestleMania. But Charlotte wants to add herself for absolutely no reason. So as I stated before, this is what should happen. If Vince McMahon had any sort of sense at all as to how the storyline is going to work, you put you put Charlotte Flair and you put Ronda Rousey in a one-on-one match at Fastlane. You add that match. You make that the main event of Fastlane. If Ronda Rousey wins, then Charlotte Flair is out the window and Becky Lynch is in. And it'll be a one-on-one match that we all are anticipating. But if Charlotte Flair beats Ronda Rousey, and we doubt that'll happen, if Charlotte beats Ronda, then Charlotte is added to WrestleMania and Becky Lynch is completely out of the WrestleMania picture. End of story. That's the way Vince McMahon should pull it. That's the way the decision should be. Now, if they decide to go ahead and pull on something stupid and make something to a point where we're all going to be like, oh, well, you know it's going to happen one way or another. You know that it's going to end up being a triple threat match one way or another. My point is, nobody wants to see a triple threat match. It don't matter. Nobody wants to see a triple threat match. There's a few people. There's probably maybe 20% of the people that don't want to see that, while probably 80% of the people want to. Okay, let me give you a demographic. 20% of the people don't want to see the matchup. About 70% of the people do want to see the singles matchup between Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. There's a 10% of the people that actually want to see a triple threat match happen. 10%. That's funny. And it just shocks me that there's that 10% of the people that want to see that. So to me, on Monday Night Raw, this coming Monday night, Charlotte Flair, if she shows up, she may take the title. Vince McMahon could hand her the title. However, if Vince McMahon is smart, Vince McMahon will give back the championship to Ronda Rousey. And Ronda Rousey should face off against Charlotte Flair at Fastlane and put on the stipulation. If Ronda Rousey wins, Charlotte is out, Becky is in. And if Charlotte wins, Becky is not going to be a part of WrestleMania at all. And it'll be Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. That's the way the stipulation should be, and that's how it should go. We'll see what happens this coming Monday night. We'll see how far this goes. Because already, the story is getting a little bit ridiculous. It's getting confusing, but it's also getting exciting. We don't know where this excitement is going to go. We don't know how far this will go. All I know is this. Vince McMahon has a tough decision to make. And it needs to be done right. If it's not, WrestleMania is screwed. And if it ends up being a triple threat match, fine. Let it be a triple threat match. But, as I stated before, if you try to put Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch, it's not going to work. It's not going to work at all. If you do it after WrestleMania, it's not going to work. If you do it at WrestleMania, it will work. It'll be the biggest main event in history. And that's all people will be talking about. Everyone can talk about the women's triple threat match that took place at WrestleMania 32 with Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and the boss, Sasha Banks. That was a big hit. But this one, right here, Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania this year, everyone's going to be talking about it. And at the end, everybody will get what they want. The McMahons will get what they want. The WWE will get what they want. And the fans, especially the fans, are going to get exactly what they want.